Welcome back to TR Talks. We are officially in full swing of the Black History Month here at Thornridge. If you were in the auditorium this past Tuesday, you knew the energy was absolutely incredible. Between the performances, the speakers, and the overall vibe, it was honestly one of the highlights of the school year so far. But an event like that doesn't just happen by magic. It took 2 weeks of planning, and the driving force behind it was the African Diaspora Club. Today, I am so lucky to be sitting down with the club sponsor, Miss Pierre. She's here to give us the behind the scenes scoop on the assembly and tell us what else to expect for the rest of the month. Welcome to our show, of
Thank you for having me.
course. For our questions, we start with the warm up. For our listeners who might not be familiar with the club yet, could you briefly explain what the African Diaspora Club is and what your main goal is on campus?
Okay, thank you, and I'm so happy to be here and also to be in your presence. So, diaspora means the scattering of a people, and Africans, due to the Atlantic slave trade, were scattered all over the Americas and also in Europe. And we have that representation here at Thornridge High School. And I want that population of students to be seen. But then I also want everyone, not only just Black people, but white people as well, to understand that Black people are not a monolithic group, meaning that we're all the same. We are very diverse, we're very different. And that's one thing. Okay, moving into the main goal is to educate, not only just to educate our community, but to educate also the white community as well. But then also to improve relationships among African Americans that are here and those that are from your Afro Latinas or your Africans, that because we have a nice population of African students here. So that is that is that's what I would. It is all rooted in education. Just let me say that.
Okay, I've been influenced. That was good. That was a good explanation. Let's talk about Tuesday. The assembly was huge and the crowd was really into it. As the sponsor, what was it like for you watching it all finally come together on stage? Were you nervous, excited, or relieved?
How about all of those? How about all of those? Nervous, excited, and relieved. I will say that the assembly was student driven. Everything that we did, I mean, I was sort of like the director, but in bringing everything together, but it was totally student driven, 100%. And I would say, as far as how do I do this? Yeah, I think I answered. Yeah, I was just relieved, happy, excited, and I would say proud of myself. And once again, proud of the students, proud of my students.
Yeah. There were so many moving parts like poetry, music, and speeches. Was there a specific moment of performance on Tuesday that made you think, yes, this is exactly what we wanted to capture?
I will tell you, and I had to share with Miss Vrejas, the young lady symphony that created that wrote her own poem. It was so moving. I would say her poem really captured the essence of the play. Of the assembly. Okay.
I know the students in the club put in a lot of work to make that happen. Can you talk a little bit about the role the students played in the planning process? How did they take the lead?
Okay. Well, first we came up with a theme. Okay, and then once we had the theme, then it was just like, okay, what is it? How is it that we're going to deliver this message and still our rise to the student population? And one of the things that the students came up with was the HBCU segment. And Tamia Robinson, she was the person that interviewed teachers for that. And what else? And then, of course, with Mrs. Vrehas's support, she had a student that created her own poem. Um, and then, because once again, we are the African Diaspora Club, we had the Spanish Club to participate because there's a lot of Afro Latinas at the school, and there's a lot of history behind um, Black people in Latin America that people are not aware of or educated on. So we were given an opportunity to work with the Spanish Club, and they took the lead on that. And the dance part, that was and let me say, for those students that do not know anything about the competitive dance team, join. And they did an excellent job too. I don't know if you were there, but they did an excellent job. So yeah, it was a lot of moving pieces, but I will say it all came together. I mean, we had, just like last year, it was the same way, but it all it all melded. And I will say this much though, too. I think the ancestors were in the room, and Black people, we are a spiritual people, and yeah, and I would say Toni Morrison was there, um, Malcolm X was there, Dr. King was there, Sojourner Truth was there. They were all there. They were in that room, and they helped to make it happen.
Wish I was there. The assembly was a massive kickoff, but I know the month isn't over. What other events or activities does the club have planned for the rest of Black History Month that students should be looking out for?
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank staff for their donations, so we can increase student participation. On Tuesdays, we have African garb dress day, where we want students and staff to wear something Afrocentric or something that is that highlights Black History Month. And students are to come to C112. If they did dress like that way, they would get a gift card, and we take a picture, so that could go into the um, what is it, the yearbook. On Thursdays, we also have HBCU Day, because we want to promote education, and so students, if they wear an HBCU T-shirt, they come down, or hoodie, then come down to my room once again, take a picture, get a gift card. And then on Fridays, we have, and today is our first Friday, we are showing Black Panther. And I have snacks, soda, chips, popcorn, for students right after school. Well, not right after, but right after CP. And then, really, and I really want to promote this, we are having sort of like an African Festival of the Arts. This is our second year having it, and it will happen during what is that, parent teacher conferences from 5 to 8. That is February 12th. That's February 12th. Yes. And you can scan QR code here. We have flyers all over the place in the building. It's $25 to get a table. And we want to promote the circulation of dollars within our community. Okay. And we just had Kwanzaa, and one of those principles of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa is Ujamaa, which means cooperative economics, and that we have, once again, we keep our dollars in our community.
I've been real educated here. If a student loved the assembly and wants to help out with these upcoming events, or just want to join the club for the rest of the year, how can they do that? When and where do you meet?
Okay, so we meet on Tuesdays, and we meet from 3:30 to 4:30, and students that are interested come to C112.
Okay. One last question before we go. When we get to the end of February, what is one thing you hope the student body takes away from this year's Black History Month celebration?
Ooh, so much. I would say this was doing Black History Month is that's my jam. And I would say I want people to know, I want of staff and students to know that Black people aren't going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. Um, and we are also, and the thing is, and what's happening currently with trying to do away with slavery as if it didn't happen, to try to police, education and take out books that educate all of us on slavery. What I want everyone to know is that no, we're here. We're not going anywhere, and we are going to continue to advocate for our humanity, and that is huge. And I also want to add, we in C Hallway, we are creating a Black Lives Matter display in C Hallway because people don't understand the origins of why we say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter because when we're promoting this, and we'll continue to say this, because our lives didn't matter from the time we got here. From the time that we got here, our bodies were just a commodity. We were just cargo. And from the time that we stepped on this soil, that is the way we've been treated. Our lives didn't matter, and it still doesn't matter. And until this country sees our humanity, we will continue to fight for it.
And I completely understand you, and I completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
We loved your information. Thank you so much for the work you do with the club and for taking the time to chat with us today.
Okay, no, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. I'm very happy to be here, and most definitely, I will come back because, as you can see, I could talk. Okay.
Very influential. Everyone, make sure you mark your calendars for those upcoming dates. Thanks for listening to TR Talks, and I'll catch you next time.